While there are many enemies in the lands between that can be found throughout its different regions, some are confined to specific areas of the map. When we find our way to the secret area beyond Volcano Manor, we can find one of these enemy types. The Man-Serpents are exactly that, serpents given a more humanoid form. They wield specific weapons crafted within Mount Gelmir, and they fight for their god, who wishes to devour the world. How did these Man-Serpents come to be? Why do we only find them in Mount Gelmir? And what is their connection to Raya, the only female serpent we can find on our journey? Today we'll be diving into the lore behind these creatures, and we'll be starting with Raya. Before we start dissecting the story behind the Man-Serpents, we wanted to take a second to ask you to hit that subscribe button. The more viewers subscribe, the larger our audience becomes, and the nicer we play with YouTube's algorithm. We absolutely love the community we've been able to build, and we hope you enjoy being a part of it. Thank you for sitting down with Square Table Gaming and dissecting Elden Ring lore with us. With that said, let's get back to Raya. If we're not traveling too far off the beaten path, it's likely we first encounter Raya at Liurnia of the Lakes. She's missing a necklace and wishes to enlist us in helping her get it back from another Tarnished. She does not ask us to kill the man, but simply leaves it up to our discretion how we handle the situation. Upon completing our task, she thanks us and gives us her name, Raya, a woman in service of Lady Tanith of the Volcano Manor. She then asks us to seek out the manor by making our way to the Altus Plateau. Once we do, she's waiting for us, and upon taking our hand, we are transported to Volcano Manor. After completing our first mission for Tanith, we can speak with Raya, and she will ask us if we have ever heard strange sounds, like breathing and the slithering of scales just beyond the walls. She seems alarmed that something in Volcano Manor may not be as it appears, but holds firm that her mother, Lady Tanith, would never lie to her. After this, it's possible for us to meet with Raya again, only this time she looks a bit less human. We can speak to a large serpent in one of the rooms of the manor, where she reveals to us that she is Raya. She assumes a human form and human name in order to make others feel at ease. She believes people are cruel, and she would scare anyone who saw her in her snake form. Her true name is Zorias, and she has been told she was born by the grace of a glorious king, and Lady Tanith, her mother, cherishes her snake form. While she's proud of what she is, she still fears being judged by the outside world, but believes we are different and thanks us for accepting her. Now that we know Raya is actually a serpent, the truth of Volcano Manor starts to bleed through. We can speak with her again, and she tells us how her mind never ceases to churn of late. The noises she's heard in the walls were real. In the pitch black of the night, she saw something slithering and enter the room next to hers. She believes it was a serpent, just like her, but to her knowledge, she's a singular being, born by the grace of a god, unique, just as her mother told her. She asks that we investigate and find the truth. Has the Volcano Manor, no, her mother Tanith, been lying to her all along? She must know. From here we can find the truth of Volcano Manor. It opens into a larger area, a town full of lava and monsters. There are man-serpents everywhere, and they will attack our Tarnished on sight. They don't have the tender intelligence of Raya. They're much more feral, defending their land and trying to keep us from advancing our way through the town. When it comes to determining the origins of these creatures, there's one item in the game that actually clears it up very succinctly. The Man Serpent Ashes tell us, it is said that long ago, the elder serpent that dwelled on Mount Gelmir devoured a demigod, and the birth of the Man-Serpents followed. So now we know that the Man-Serpents didn't exist until the God-Devouring serpent ate Praetor Reitgard. The question remains, how would this event make it possible for the Man-Serpents to come into this world? For that, we need to continue our way through the town hidden within Volcano Manor, until we face the Godskin Apostle. After defeating this boss, we gain the Serpent's Amnion, which is described as the amnion from the mother's womb which cradled the poor unwanted offspring of a repellent birthing ritual. It will never dry out, remaining damp indefinitely. We can then take this item back to Raya, where she tells us, I remember this sin, distinctly. Funny, isn't it? I'm certain of it. I was born inside this. It's a part of my birth mother. You have my gratitude. Thanks to you, I am no longer afraid. I want to know, how was I born and met Lady Tanith? One day I hope to call her mother once again, this time from the bottom of my heart. So Tanith is not her birth mother, which means she is also likely not the mother of the Man-Serpents. We can discover who is later in Raya's quest, after finding her in the Volcano Manor dungeon. She goes on to tell us,
It's you. I'm afraid there is something I must tell you. I was an unwanted child, born not of grace, but of a hideous ritual, something that can never be accepted. Not by men, nor serpents. Even Lady Tanith shouldn't accept me.
She then goes on to ask us to kill her so she does not bring further shame to Lady Tanith or the manor. After this, Raya's quest has 3 different paths. We can kill Raya, speak with Tanith to receive a tonic of forgetfulness, or simply refuse to kill her. No matter which path we choose, we will eventually meet the end of Raya's quest and be rewarded with a talisman, Daedakar's Woe. This talisman is the visage of a flayed woman, smiling warmly. It tells us, it is said that this woman named Daedakar indulged in every form of adultery and wicked pleasure imaginable, giving birth to a myriad of grotesque children. The fact that Raya drops this item implies to us that Daedakar was her actual mother, and possibly the mother of all man-serpents. These creatures did not exist before Rykard was eaten, because they couldn't. The God-Devouring serpent needed Rykard in order to reproduce and create this new form of life. Raya may have been the last serpent born, as the amnion was clearly removed from Daedakar, either before or after she was flayed, for mothering the man-serpents. This is also why we only find the man-serpents on Mount Gelmir. They cannot exist anywhere else in the world because they were all born in the Volcano Manor. They are the forces of the God-Devouring serpent, of Rykard, and they will not travel out into the world until they're ready to make their move against the Erd Tree. Raya believes she's unwanted due to being born through a ritual, but we think that this is debatable. While she may have been unwanted by Rykard or the other man-serpents, the warmth with which Tanith discusses Raya is clear when she asks us to be kind to her and speaks of the purity of her heart. We see this again when she wishes to defend her from the truth of her past. Tanith truly does consider Raya her daughter, and hid the truth of her past from her to protect her from being blamed for her heritage, a female serpent, a creature which was not meant to exist. Raya and the man-serpents only exist due to the fusion of the God-Devouring serpent and Praetor Rykard. It was only after this unholy, blasphemous act was taken that it was possible for the man-serpents to exist in the world. They lived to serve their father, to act as his army, for when he's ready to take over the lands between. That is their sole reason for existing. And yet, among them, a single female was born. Raya, or Zorius, was the exception to this rule. She was not born to fight. She was born of a hideous ritual that likely led to the death of her mother, and was given purpose by an adoptive mother who saw her beauty despite what the man-serpents believed. Raya became the Volcano Manor scout, one of the most important roles in the manor. Without her, there would be no new Tarnish joining them, no warriors proving their worth and being fed to her father, Rykard, to grow his power. Without Raya, the Volcano Manor ceases to function properly, and Tanith believes she was worthy of this honor. Thank you for sitting down with us today to discuss Raya and the Man-Serpents. The lore surrounding these humanoid serpents is easily missed and little explored due to their singular location in the lands between, but we wanted to shine a light on them in order to show another angle of how the Volcano Manor plans to achieve their goals. Devouring the world is all well and good, but Rykard will need his own knights to fight the forces of the other demigods, and it seems that's who the Man-Serpents were meant to be, at least until the birth of Raya. Let us know if you think we missed anything related to the Man-Serpents in the comments below. like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on any Square Table content. We look forward to seeing you again for more Elden lore.